All right. I know we are a little bit ahead of schedule than what we originally initially was planning, but it is actually 2 days later after the Nintendo Direct, and I know that there's been people that have been wanting to give my take on it, whether if I think that it was a good Nintendo Direct that we've had or if it was disappointing. But without further ado, stay tuned in to the video, guys. Also, subscribe for those of you that are new to the channel, and we will be sure to keep you guys posted with more future content as time goes on. And also, make sure to comment down below of your thoughts towards the end of the video. But anyway, without further ado, let's get this video started and let's discuss if the Nintendo Direct was worth the hype or if it was disappointing.
Catch 'em all.
Alright, so the Nintendo Direct was 2 days ago on Wednesday the 17th, and I personally have a little bit of mixed results, but at the most, I'll give you what my personal take on it is at the end of the video. But there was actually quite a few games that I did like that they got showed off at the Nintendo Direct. And one of them is Fall Guys, and the other two are Apex Legends and the new Mario Golf game. Now, the Mario Golf game actually looks stunning. Like, the visuals look so freaking impressive on especially a console that is really less powerful. Like, that game just looks absolutely stunning. And I know what you guys are probably going to say. You're probably going to be like, well, Nintendo always makes really great looking games on especially their exclusive IPs, which that is true. They really, really do. I mean, I can't think of no freaking Zelda game and no Mario Brothers game or anything like that that did not look good on any Nintendo console, even the originals from the original Nintendo Entertainment System. There is definitely not one game that I did not think that didn't look good on any Nintendo console at all of their exclusives of their IPs, like I've mentioned, Mario Brothers and Zelda, they've always looked tremendous no matter what. But with Nintendo Switch, that is today's most powerful Nintendo console ever created. And I will say games are starting to get a lot looking better and prettier, especially like Mario Golf looks. Like, the game just looks, like I said, absolutely stunning on the Nintendo Switch. But then some other games with third party games like Apex Legends, it definitely doesn't look as good as playing it on like the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. But holy crap, Apex Legends looks definitely way better than I thought on the Nintendo Switch, and I'm actually looking forward to basically playing that game on my Nintendo Switch and taking it outside once it gets warm up out here instead of this freaking cold winter, and go out and sit on my little back porch patio, this and that. It's going to be really fun to play Apex Legends on the handheld and sit outside in the evenings whenever it gets warm. But the last major game, and this is like the most game, which you already know because I had said it first. This is the best game that I honestly did like the most. Well, I do like the most, and I think was the best showing. Is Fall Guys coming to the Nintendo Switch? Fall Guys was available for free to PlayStation Plus members back in August, and I personally was one of the people that grabbed the game while it was free. And I've really got to say this game is really a masterpiece. Like, I know you're playing against like hundreds of other players out there and whatnot, but holy crap, is it fun even worth the challenging and trying to freaking win and to be the last one standing? Like, holy crap, it is the most challenging game ever. But at the same time, it's like you don't even get mad when you play that game, like games like Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, and whatnot. Like, this game is a game you literally do not get mad. You just play it, and if you lose, you lose. You just go to the next round. You win, you win. That's just how this game really is. Fall Guys is like one of the best arcade style games, in my personal opinion, that I have literally ever played. And finally, for it coming to the Nintendo Switch, and me being able to take my Switch outside, like I was saying with Apex Legends, and be able to play that on a warm evening and whatnot when the sun goes down and play it, like, dude, it's going to be incredible to play Fall Guys outside on my little, like I said, little patio of my one bedroom apartment. It will be so fun. Like, it's just going to be the funnest thing ever. But those are literally the only three games that I think were the best showing off for the Nintendo Switch. Now, the main question is, was it worth the hype or was it very disappointed? Well, I want to say 20% of the Nintendo Direct was worth the hype, but 80%, a large majority portion of it, I personally thought it was very, very disappointing. But like I said, those are the only three games that literally interest me. All the other ones I did not like, or I thought were garbage. Well, not some of them weren't into other people's minds. The Legend of Zelda remake from the Wii, whatever it's called, the Skyward or something like that. Now, that game actually did look amazing too, but honestly, that wasn't a game that I was very interested in. But I know that's going to be a really popular game on the Nintendo Switch, and that's a game that I know probably people were really, really liking at the Nintendo Direct. But all those games, except for the three that I just named off, I literally, honestly, didn't enjoy this Nintendo Direct whatsoever. I thought it was very, very disappointing. Even the Sony State of Play that we had back in September, right before the PlayStation 5 came out, I honestly didn't think that was good at all, a whole lot, but it was actually way better than this Nintendo Direct, in my personal opinion. The thing that I did like showing off at the Sony State of Play event was indeed the fact that Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War was showing off with ray tracing and it being able to play at 120 FPS on the PlayStation 5. So that was one of the big things, but there was a couple other things I did like about the PS5. Spider-Man Miles Morales gameplay was really interesting and whatnot. I really like that too. But other than that, yeah, I honestly thought that the Nintendo Direct was really not that good. And I know that there's actually a lot of people that kind of agree, and there's a lot of people that don't agree at all. But it's just personal preferences. But I personally didn't like the Nintendo Direct. But see, here's the thing that I was basically expecting. Now, it's been a rumor for quite some time now that Borderlands 3 is going to be coming to the Switch, which I still think and I still hold to this day that it's going to be, because that's a game I personally don't think can't go on the Switch. Like, the Switch can handle a game like that for sure, because that game doesn't take a lot of horsepower. I mean, if you really go back and think of the launch day of the Borderlands 3, about said the Nintendo Switch again, but if you go back to September the 13th, 2019, the launch day of Borderlands 3, that game literally was only 40 gigabytes on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, and even the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro with the 4K enhancement of the game. It was still only 40 gigabytes. So, if I was to guess like how they would be able to get Borderlands 3 on the Nintendo Switch, this is how I honestly see it, and this is probably how it's going to be when it does come for the Switch. I think what's going to happen is Borderlands 3 is going to run at a native 1080p at 30 frames a second on dock mode, to where you're playing on your TV and whatnot. Handheld mode, I want to say 720p, but who knows, it may be like it may be not a full 720p resolution. It might be like dynamic resolution and whatnot, and it might go down all the way down to, like, let's say 480p or whatnot on the handheld. But still, that will still look just as good. I mean, I don't even know what the Borderlands collection that they released for the Switch last year it runs on. I think it runs at 1080p on dock, and I think it runs at 720p on handheld. So I would I believe that Borderlands 3 is probably going to maintain the same thing. But I do see Borderlands 3 coming to the Nintendo Switch because there's no way in hell that they can't get that game to run on the Switch because, like, that game just doesn't take a lot of horsepower. It's animated graphics. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the Borderlands graphics. They look absolutely stunning, but those games don't take a lot of horsepower to basically make, like, especially games like Call of Duty, Battlefield. Now, those games do take a lot of power, especially, but games like Borderlands, there's no way that it can't fit on the Switch. It's definitely going to. But yeah, so at the end of the video, or at the end of the direct, I meant to say, that's what basically my hope was. I was hoping for Borderlands 3 to be the major last final game of the Nintendo Direct, but it was basically Splatoon, and I heard that that game's a decent game, and it's not all that popular. I mean, like, it is popular, but it's not like super popular like games like Fall Guys and Borderlands and all of these other big third-party games and Apex and whatnot. But that's what really turned me off, is that I thought that there was going to be a big game at the end, like Borderlands 3 getting announced for the Switch, and or possibly a brand new Super Mario Brothers game, or something else that is a big third-party game that is supposed to be coming to the Switch. That's what I was honestly hoping for, mainly Borderlands 3, but it turns out we didn't get a really big AAA game announcement as the final announcement like most companies do. So, to me, besides with it only having 3 games that I like, a large majority of the games I did not like, and the last game not being a really big game like Borderlands 3 as to end the Nintendo Direct, I personally thought the Nintendo Direct was very, very disappointing, and I was not very, very happy with it. I wasn't, like I said, as happy with the Sony State of Play that happened in September with the PS5 showcase, but it was definitely way better than this Nintendo Direct was by far. So, those are my takes on the Nintendo Direct. I know it's a couple days later than normal, but that's my take on the Nintendo Direct. Is I thought that it was very disappointing, and I was hoping for an announcement of like something like Borderlands 3 to be the major last game as the showcase of the show. But it turns out it wasn't even no big AAA game at all. But yeah, so those are my thoughts of the Nintendo Direct. So let me know your comments down below of what you think about the Nintendo Direct. Was you very satisfied with it, or was you also disappointed with it? And which games did you honestly really enjoy the most that they showed off? But I'll name mine one more time real quick. The only games that I really liked that they showed off for the Switch was Apex Legends, Fall Guys, and the new Mario Golf game. And those were the only games that I personally enjoyed the most that they had. But comment down below of what games you enjoyed, and like I said, comment below of your thoughts if you thought the Nintendo Direct was good, of your opinion, or if you were also very disappointed in it like I was. So just comment down below of your thoughts and whatnot. Subscribe for those of you that are new to the channel, and we will be sure to keep you guys posted. Like I stated in the beginning of the video, we'll keep you posted with future content and all that good stuff. And also, like I said, hit a like if you enjoyed the video. But without further ado, this is Inferno Shard 1 for the win signing out. I will see you guys on the next video.